For more than a year now, people that own new MacBooks have been complaining about the keyboard. There's been problems with it. And now Apple have decided that they are actually going to do something about it. They haven't admitted anything's wrong, but they're going to do something about it. To explain exactly what that problem is and how they're tackling it, we have Ben Grubb, who is a writer with the SMH and The Age, and we have Ray Johnston, who's the editor of Junkee. Ray, what's happened?
So this was part of their butterfly keyboards, which were the issue. So
if I don't press down and a butterfly shoots out of my screen, I'm very disappointed. That's actually more misleading than calling them Apple geniuses at the stores.
Yeah, very upsetting, incredibly upsetting. But yeah, it was anecdotally kind of spreading around with users that sometimes when you pressed a key, it got stuck. And double letters came up.
Yep.
Mate, you think you'd have sorted this out in like the 80s?
Sometimes, Mark, horrifyingly, no letters came up at all. I know, it was absolutely horrendous. People had to go back and fix typos all the time.
Gasp.
Yeah, this is really breaking stuff.
It was a mechanical problem though, right? It was actually
it was.
hardware.
Well, they're saying that they've replaced the material that they used in the keys now, so it should be fixed. And they're also allowing the keyboards to be fixed under their repair program, but they won't say what the material used to be or what it is now.
Okay, so here's the thing. Whatever Apple have done with the last round of laptops, firstly the USB-C thing, which I will never forgive them for, and the keyboard, what they had immediately before that was so good.
It was good.
Like this one that I have?
Yeah, like those keys
clunky, you
Look at
hit
those
them.
ports, though. Look at that.
It's a world of opportunity.
Side.
Look at them.
So
There's
many.
an SD card in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
SD card,
SD
HDMI,
card.
the real
HDMI.
HDMI, not the little mini port thing.
I don't have to get on planes with 50,000 dongles hanging off my... Sorry, this is a very personal complaint. I know this doesn't affect everyone else's life. It's a thing
Doesn't
for me.
affect me.
Oh, well,
4-year-old
rub
laptop.
it in, Ben. Rub it in.
Hate you and your perfect hair.
But no, there's been some decisions made in the past few years that I think could be considered questionable and some mistakes made that are, probably wouldn't have been made previously.
It's a real
But
mistakes were made sort of situation.
mistakes were made, mistakes are being fixed now. So, but yeah, the keyboards don't feel as nice.
Apple does have a habit, I might add, of being in denial. A lot. Have you noticed this? Where
Nothing's wrong. Nothing's
you're
wrong. We're
holding
going
it
to roll
wrong.
back a bunch of changes.
You're holding the phone wrong. Remember, Steve Jobs had to do a whole thing like you're holding the phone wrong.
That phone definitely doesn't bend. It's definitely not bending. It's fine. We'll take it back and give you a new one.
They kind of forget about the customer is always right sort of rule until the very last minute when they see that it's going to impact on business.
Yeah, and they never let anything become official, I've noticed. Even now, talking about this, there was a great article I read that basically said there's now so much anecdotal evidence that we're not even sure we can call it anecdotal anymore. It's almost empirical, except nobody's collated the numbers.
Yeah.
And Apple will often brief journalists on these types of issues, and then you'll see a bunch of articles all in the one day go, they've suddenly got a replacement program. But they won't actually do a big kind of fanfare thing. I think the only time that they've really done that is when Steve Jobs was still around, and he actually called journalists to a stage and publicly said, you're actually holding it wrong, but we'll give you a little case instead to protect your phone and make sure that you can have better signal and whatever.
What exactly have they now said that they're going to do for keyboards that are determined to be Dodge?
It's going to fall under their repair program.
Okay.
So you can take it in and go, hello, I've got one of these keyboards that are purported to be Dodge.
But not as simple as getting it replaced straight away. They're going to be doing some kind of testing on it, troubleshooting, go through the process, clickety-click. Yes, double C.
The geniuses are going to run their genius fingers over the keyboard and
Sprinkle a bit of genius stuff.
and see.
Just before we go, one of the favorite things I have to ask Apple users is what persona do you adopt when you go into an Apple Genius? Because for many years when things went wrong, I went in with angry Apple user, and I found what works a lot better is sad Apple user. I just love Apple so much, and I really love this, and I love what you guys do, and now it's broken, replace it, please. That works so much better than the huffy, this was supposed to, I don't know why I'm doing voices.
You kind of went in as a user who might have been a Windows user who's just got a Mac and you were really pissed off.
I just love what you guys do, and I just wish you could replace it for me without asking any questions.
It's the kill 'em with kindness technique.
Does anyone else do that, or is that just me being a sociopath?
But I think I might adopt that because I have to. You do have to go in occasionally as an Apple user with issues. It's not like you're a commune. They would
Sound
love
like
to
you've got
think.
emotional issues.
Do they do therapy, Mark?
Yeah, I need a new phone, but also Daddy didn't love me, so can we swap these back? I'm sorry.
We
It's like
sit
going to
down.
the hairdresser is the same for me.
What app do I use for that?
Probably
For this
Headspace.
trauma. Do you have a trauma app?
Oh my God, you know there would be one, right?
There definitely is many.
All right, there's lots more of this in the podcast to download this show. I'm going to warn you now, we have a very in-depth discussion about two beauty bloggers that are having a YouTube war because it reveals something fascinating about the way we all deal with the internet. It's great. You want to listen to it. It's in the podcast right now. Download this show and we will catch you next week.